Have you ever felt like you're just swimming in financial news, just completely awash?
Oh, absolutely.
Every headline seems urgent. Every pundit has the answer.
Yeah,
It's it's a lot, like trying to read ancient scrolls in a hurricane.
it's a great way to put it. It's overwhelming.
How do you cut through all that?
Yeah,
The noise, find something solid, some actual strategy. It's a big
it
challenge.
really is. And that sheer volume, the speed of it all, makes it so hard to tell what's just chatter and what actually matters. What's a real shift in the market?
Yeah.
The trick, really, is moving past those surface reactions, getting to a more structured, analytical grasp of what's driving things underneath.
Exactly. And that, thankfully, is what we're digging into today in this deep dive.
Well,
You've brought us some really fascinating material,
yes.
all focused on a system designed for this exact problem, loop market, and the engine behind it, the financial engine. I have to say, I'm really intrigued by this idea of a structured approach, something that focuses on discipline, strategy, not just chasing the latest news flash. It feels different.
It aims to be.
Yeah.
The core idea, based on these sources, is to give you, the listener, a framework, a way to look past the daily ups and downs and see the bigger currents shaping things.
Building understanding proactively, not just reacting.
Precisely.
So think about this as we go. How do you currently filter all the financial info coming at you?
Hmm.
Do you feel like your method is really building a solid long-term strategy? Or is it more about just keeping up with the day's news? Keep that in mind, because Loop Market, as it's described here, seems to offer a really distinct alternative.
A different path.
Okay, let's dive right in. Your sources mention Loop Market as a new spin-off platform. So what's its main job? What's it trying to do that's genuinely different from everything else out there?
Okay, so its primary purpose is very clear in the material.
Yeah.
It's about providing a structured system, a
Mhm.
system for understanding how markets really work, moving beyond just the headlines and, frankly, the hype.
Right, the hype.
It's specifically designed to turn what are normally just daily market reports into structured educational discussion.
Educational discussions.
Yeah. The goal is teaching users a really critical skill, how to actually tell the difference between hype, structure, and just background noise in the markets.
That distinction, hype, structure, noise, that sounds key. We hear those terms, but they can feel a bit vague sometimes.
They can.
Can you give us a more concrete example? Like, what's hype versus real structure, and then a noise in a market context?
Sure, let's try a scenario. Hype could be like a meme stock suddenly jumping 20% overnight,
Okay.
driven maybe by social media buzz, a single rumor, but with no real change in the company's fundamentals or its industry. It's flashy, but probably won't last.
Got it. Short-term frenzy.
Exactly. Now, structure might be something like a steady, sustained increase in buying within a whole sector, say renewable energy, happening over weeks, maybe months. It indicates big investors are positioning for a longer-term trend, even if there isn't one big headline screaming about it yet.
Yeah.
That suggests something deeper is changing.
A fundamental shift.
Right. And noise.
Yeah.
That's just the everyday little ups and downs, prices jiggling around without any real meaning or catalyst. It's mostly distraction. Loop Market apparently tries to train your eye to spot these differences.
That makes it much clearer. It's not just filtering, it's understanding the type of information.
Right.
But lots of places give daily summaries. What makes Loop Market fundamentally different, not just another recap?
Well, the sources really stress its focus on building discipline and strategy. That seems to be the core differentiator.
Okay.
It's not just telling you what happened. It explicitly says it turns these reports into active educational discussions. The goal is an ongoing learning process. Less like reading the news, more like attending a daily class on market analysis. It's about helping you develop that strategic mindset through consistent, structured work.
Okay, I'm following. Let's unpack this more. The sources keep mentioning Loop Market is powered by the financial engine. That really sounds like the secret sauce.
It just sounds like a core component.
What is the financial engine? How does it work beyond just, a cool name?
Right. So the financial engine is presented as the underlying technology. The system that actually drives Loop Market's analysis and operations is the analytical framework.
Okay.
Think of it less like simple algorithms and more like an advanced analytical layer, maybe using AI, pattern recognition, that kind of thing. It'll just collect data. It seems to intelligently cross-reference real-time market info.
Like what kind of info?
Things like big volume spikes, changes in order books, maybe derivative positions. It gets huge amounts of historical data and known market patterns. This allows it to spot divergences, anomalies, things that might signal a real structural shift, not just temporary volatility. That's how reports become engines, as they put it. It turns raw data into context.
Reports becoming engines. I like that metaphor. It feels active, dynamic, not just a static report.
Exactly. It suggests it generates insight.
So, practically speaking, how does Loop Market track the market? What specific information does its market engine report focus on to fuel these educational discussions?
Okay, so the financial engine produces this market engine report daily. This report tracks several key things very specifically.
Right.
It identifies winners' assets doing really well and laggards, the ones underperforming. It also flags breakouts, which are assets moving significantly past their usual price ranges or technical levels.
Breakouts, okay.
And importantly, it analyzes sector flows. This is about tracking where big money is moving between different parts of the market.
Ah, like money shifting from tech to industrials, maybe?
Precisely that kind of thing. Is there a quiet, steady flow happening under the surface? The engine uses quantitative measures and probably proprietary indicators to flag these movements, things you might miss just watching the news.
That's really interesting. It's specific categories, not just a data dump. But here's the crucial part for me. How do these reports actually become discussions that teach users? How do they help you develop your own insight?
Yeah, that's the educational core, the engine part. These daily reports with the winners, laggards, breakouts, flows, they aren't just presented and left there.
Okay.
They become the basis for guided discussions within Loop Market. So imagine the report shows a big sector flow out of, say, consumer staples.
Right.
The discussion would then prompt you to ask, okay, is this just hype from some news event, or is it structure, a real long-term shift? What happened in the past that looks like this? What does the engine's analysis suggest?
So it forces you to analyze the data point.
Exactly. The goal is to get users actively engaging with the data, separating hype from structure, structure from noise. It's meant to be an interactive learning loop built on that consistent data and the engine's framework.
Okay, connecting the dots then. What does this mean for someone trying to build a real strategy? How does this whole Loop Market system actually help you build market discipline?
This connects directly to a quote in the material that I thought was really powerful. Strategy isn't found in a headline, it's built in an archive.
Built in an archive. I like that.
Loop Market doesn't just give you today's report and forget it. It creates a daily record that stacks into weekly binders and monthly compendiums.
An archive.
Yes. And this archival system is fundamental to building discipline. Instead of just reacting to today's news, you can go back. You can compare, see patterns over time, learn.
How would that work practically?
Well, maybe you look at a breakout that was flagged 6 months ago. The archive lets you trace how it actually played out. You can see the sector flows around it, figure out if it was just temporary hype or if it represented real structure.
I see.
It pushes you towards long-term learning, away from knee-jerk reactions to headlines. It helps you build that deeper, structured understanding over time.
That makes a lot of sense. Discipline is, well, it's hard to come by in markets, isn't it? Everything feels so immediate.
It does.
This idea of an archive seems to directly tackle that feeling of being caught up in the moment. It makes you step back. But what about sticking with it? What challenges might someone face adopting this? How does Loop Market help you stay consistent?
That's a fair point. Consistency is always the challenge with building discipline.
Right.
The material suggests Loop Market tries to address this by making the archive part of the daily process. The discussions actively reference past reports. They show how today's events link back to patterns in the system's own archive.
Ah, so it's not just a library you might ignore.
Exactly. It's an integrated tool.
Huh?
By constantly showing the long-term results of past winners or flows, it reinforces why building that cumulative knowledge matters. It shifts your focus from just reacting today to understanding systematically over time.
Okay. Now, this whole system sounds very specific, very structured. It's clearly not just generic advice.
No, it seems quite proprietary.
So who's behind it? Who owns the intellectual property for this unique approach?
According to the sources, the author was Devin McClurdy.
Okay.
And the intellectual property itself, the insights, the strategy, the structure, is owned by D Investment Enterprise, LLC. The copyright is held by D Publishing Group.
Got it.
They describe it explicitly as protected intellectual property and a structured vault asset, which really highlights that it's a unique methodology, not just public domain information.
And that protection makes sense for something offering a distinct financial method. So if this sounds like a good fit for someone wanting to build discipline, how do they actually access Loop Market?
It's distributed through the DPG network. The sources indicate that subscribing to DPG Network is the way to follow the content and get access to these reports and discussions.
All right. So wrapping up our deep dive today, Loop Market really presents itself as something quite different.
It does.
It's about moving past the noise, the hype, building real discipline, developing actual strategy through this structured system, powered by the financial engine. It seems like it wants to change how you fundamentally see the market.
Precisely. It's about changing your relationship with market information, not just passively consuming data, but actively using it. Transforming it into an engine for your own understanding, your own strategic growth over time.
Making you a more informed, disciplined investor.
That seems to be the core benefit highlighted.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Think about how much time you spend just consuming the daily news flow from the markets. Now, compare that to the time you spend actually compiling, analyzing, maybe even archiving that information to find long-term insights. What kind of impact could having a structured archive and analytical engine like Loop Market describes have on your financial understanding, on your whole approach? It's definitely something worth considering.